are many consoles nowadays, with magnificent graphics, easy controls and beautiful design, but on what consoles do we spend our time the most? You are watching GNN and this is our top 5 consoles of all time. Sega Dreamcast. The Dreamcast is a home video game console released by Sega on November 27, 1998 in Japan, September 9, 1999 in North America, and October 14, 1999 in Europe. It was the first in the 6th generation of video game consoles, preceding Sony's PlayStation 2, Nintendo's GameCube and Microsoft's Xbox. The Dreamcast was Sega's final home console, marking the end of the company's 18 years in the console market. In contrast to the expensive hardware of the unsuccessful Sega Saturn, the Dreamcast was designed to reduce costs with off-the-shelf components, including a Hitachi SH4 CPU and an NEC PowerVer2 GPU. Released in Japan to a subdued reception, the Dreamcast enjoyed a successful US launch backed by a large marketing campaign, but interest in the system steadily declined as Sony built hype for the upcoming PlayStation 2. Sales did not meet Sega's expectations despite several price cuts, and the company continued to incur significant financial losses. After a change in leadership, Sega discontinued the Dreamcast on March 31, 2001, withdrawing from the console business and restructuring itself as a third-party publisher. 9.13 million Dreamcast units were sold worldwide. Although the Dreamcast had a short lifespan and limited third-party support, reviewers have considered the console ahead of its time. Its library contains many games considered creative and innovative, including Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio and Shenmue, as well as high-quality ports from Sega's Naomi arcade system board. The Dreamcast was also the first console to include a built-in modem for internet support and online play. Atari 2600. The Atari 2600, or Atari VCS before 1982, is a home video game console by Atari, Incorporated, released on September 11, 1977. It is credited with popularizing the use of microprocessor-based hardware and ROM cartridges containing game code, a format first used with the Fairchild Channel F video game console in 1976. This format contrasts with the older model of having non-microprocessor dedicated hardware, which could only play the games that were physically built into the unit. The console was originally sold as the Atari VCS, an abbreviation for Video Computer System. Following the release of the Atari 5200 in 1982, the VCS was renamed to the Atari 2600 inches, after the unit's Atari part number, CX2600. The 2600 was typically bundled with 2 joystick controllers, a conjoined pair of paddle controllers, and a game cartridge, initially Combat, and later Pac-Man. Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 is a home video game console developed by Microsoft. As the successor to the original Xbox, it is the second console in the Xbox series. The Xbox 360 competed with Sony's PlayStation 3 and Nintendo's Wii as part of the 7th generation of video game consoles. The Xbox 360 was officially unveiled on MTV on May 12, 2005, with detailed launch and game information divulged later that month at the Electronic Entertainment Expo, E3. The Xbox 360 features an online service, Xbox Live, which was expanded from its previous iteration on the original Xbox and received regular updates during the console's lifetime. Available in free and subscription-based varieties, Xbox Live allows users to play games online, download games through Xbox Live Arcade, and game demos, purchase and stream music, television programs, and films through the Xbox Music and Xbox Video portals, and access third-party content services through media streaming applications. In addition to online multimedia features, the Xbox 360 allows users to stream media from local PCs. Several peripherals have been released, including wireless controllers, expanded hard drive storage, and a Kinect motion sensing camera. The release of these additional services and peripherals help the Xbox brand grow from gaming only to encompassing all multimedia, turning it into a hub for living room computing entertainment. Launched worldwide across 2005 to 2006, the Xbox 360 was initially in short supply in many regions, including North America and Europe. The earliest versions of the console suffered from a high failure rate, indicated by the so-called red ring of death, necessitating an extension of the device's warranty period. Microsoft released two redesigned models of the console, the Xbox 360S in 2010, and the Xbox 360 in 2013. As of June 2014, 84 million Xbox 360 consoles have been sold worldwide, making it the sixth highest-selling video game console in history, and the highest-selling console made by an American company. Although not the best-selling console of its generation, the Xbox 360 was deemed by TechRadar to be the most influential through its emphasis on digital media distribution and multiplayer gaming on Xbox Live. The Xbox 360's successor, the Xbox One, was released on November 22, 2013. On April 20, 2016, Microsoft announced that it would end the production of new Xbox 360 hardware, although the company will continue to support the platform. PlayStation. The PlayStation, officially abbreviated to PS, and commonly known as the PS1 or PSX, is a home video game console developed and marketed by Sony Computer Entertainment. The console was released on December 3, 1994 in Japan, September 9, 1995 in North America, September 29, 1995 in Europe, and for November 15, 1995 in Australia. The console was the first of the PlayStation lineup of home video game consoles. It primarily competed with the Nintendo 64 and the Sega Saturn as part of the fifth generation of video game consoles. The PlayStation is the first computer entertainment platform to ship 100 million units, which it had reached 9 years and 6 months after its initial launch. In 2000, a redesigned, slim version called the Sun was released, replacing the original gray console and named appropriately to avoid confusion with its successor, the PlayStation 2. In 1999, Sony announced the successor to the PlayStation 2, which is backwards compatible with the PlayStation's DualShock controller and games, and launched the console in 2000. The last Sun units were sold in winter 2004 before it was officially discontinued in March 2005, for a total of 102 million units shipped since its launch 10 years earlier. Games for the PlayStation continued to sell until Sony ceased production of PlayStation games on March 23, 2006, over 11 years after it had been released, and less than a year before the debut of the PlayStation 3. Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System, officially abbreviated the Super NES or SNES, and commonly shortened to Super Nintendo, is a 16-bit home video game console developed by Nintendo that was released in 1990 in Japan and South Korea, 1991 in North America, 1992 in Europe and Australasia, Oceania, and 1993 in South America. In Japan, the system is called the Super Famicom, officially adopting the abbreviated name of its predecessor, the Famicom, or SFC for short. In South Korea, it is known as the Super Comboy and was distributed by Hyundai Electronics. Although each version is essentially the same, several forms of regional lockout prevent the different versions from being compatible with one another. It was released in Brazil on September 2, 1992, by Playtronic. The SNES is Nintendo's second home console, following the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES. The console introduced advanced graphics and sound capabilities compared with other consoles at the time. The development of a variety of enhancement chips integrated in game cartridges helped to keep it competitive in the marketplace. The SNES was a global success, becoming the best-selling console of the 16-bit era despite its relatively late start and the fierce competition it faced in North America and Europe from Sega's Genesis, Mega Drive console. The SNES remained popular well into the 32-bit era, and continues to be popular among fans, collectors, retro gamers, and emulation enthusiasts, some of whom still make homebrew ROM images. If you like our video, leave a like, comment and subscribe, for more videos every day.
It's Friday. Thank God, little homie, it's Friday. Let me get it.